we are officially live, but which is fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we're not going to change a damn thing about what we're talking about. But
No.
Usually when I tell people like that, they're like, "Oh, we're live," and they're like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, lock
and
up.
They stop and they like stare at me. And
Oh no.
Okay. So
Time has come.
So you got a drink? You good?
Good.
All right. How do you like the blonde?
Delicious.
It's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about the only blonde he's had in a while.
Good one.
We're getting started already.
Yeah.
Are we on? Are we on? Are we on?
We're on.
Are we on?
Are we on?
Are we
Oh,
on?
yeah.
All right, cool. I'd like to welcome you, gentlemen, to the Connected by Water podcast presented by Joey Cardi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and fueled by Papa's Pilar Rum. I am your host, Dennis Friel. I am here today with Chip Sheehan and Nick Cardella. What's up?
What's
Awesome.
happening, man?
Welcome. Thanks for
Glad to
coming.
be here.
Glad to be here. It's awesome.
No, this is great on this
Cheers.
beautiful rainy day.
Yep.
I know this is recorded in delay and all that, but we're supposedly there's some hurricane out there.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. I think it's gonna be a West Coast thing, but yes, it'll be long gone by the time.
I was supposed to go scalloping over there, and we had to cancel our trip.
Where?
Where were we going? Crystal River.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've
never done that.
Dang.
The guy that built my Billy Knowles, Jimmy, he's worked for Billy for years. He invited us to go over with his family, and we were going to go do it. He said it's a good time and everything, but the hurricane kind of blew it
Jimmy
out.
and Louisa.
What do
always
you know
scalloping
about?
over there?
What do you
Really?
know about
Yeah.
scalloping?
Yeah.
How do
I
you
know nothing
how do
about
you,
it.
How do you take
I heard
them?
you can chase them like mid-water column. They'll go away from you.
Really?
Yeah. Like
Oh,
Pac-Man.
really?
Very
So-
Pac-Man-esque. That's what I was told. I've never caught one.
Snorkel? How deep?
Snorkel, I guess like 10 feet, 8 feet, I think. Maybe
Really?
shallower.
Grassy bottom.
You get
You
the
can go down
details.
10 foot. Get them?
I'll go down for a little bit.
Nice.
All right.
Your ears pop.
Very aquatic.
Yeah.
I used to go clamming in Sebastian when
yeah?
I was a kid. Yeah, you've been to Sebastian,
Oh, yeah.
right? Surfing, whatever.
Surfed a lot,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you come over the bridge or like Monster Hole, and then you
Yeah.
go over the bridge, and there's that little bay
There was a bay
inland.
in the back.
Yeah, that's where you do it. Yeah. So that was always a good time.
Those clams are good bait, too. You catch everything on the clam.
Mm.
Flounders, redfish,
Yeah.
you name it.
Nice. So this is you guys have been here before. You've been here before.
Yeah, I was here at the
It's your
opening,
first
yeah.
time in the studio.
This is my first time
Right.
in the studio.
So, all right,
Love
cool.
it.
So
Awesome
welcome.
place.
And then you were telling me before the show started about her viral nickname of "Are We On?"
Are we on?
Right. So
Some say we're on. Some say are we on? She's now changed her
Right.
Instagram name to Are We On?
I give her the proper introduction. Then.
It's Angela Garber, my girlfriend.
All right. And
Are we on?
she's our bartender for the day.
She's
so.
she's
Right.
on our team, and she cameras for us and everything else. She does a good job.
Nice. So you're faithfully in our hands today.
All right.
Or we're in
And
your
she's
hands
our bartender
today. We're in
today.
your hands. Yeah, we're in your hands today. So, all right, cool. So,
Thanks, Ange.
all right, just to give a little background and context to who we're talking to for some of the audience that may not know you guys. So you're captain of the Chips Ahoy team, right? And you guys also fish on the Real Synergy team.
Yeah, the captain
Right.
of the Real Synergy. And Nick
Yep.
fishes on the Real Synergy with us as well.
Nice. And both of you guys are very seasoned veteran fishermen from the local area. And obviously you come from the Sheehan family.
Yeah.
And which is a huge, wonderful name around these parts.
Yeah.
So that's awesome to have you guys in here. So the cool thing is about the way we're going to structure this episode today, right? And I just thought of this because none of it's planned. Is normally we ask our Papa's Pilar strange questions a little bit later in the show after we've had a couple and like, all right, it's time for our weird questions, right? But I'm going to ask them a little sooner today because when I put out that Chip Sheehan was coming on the show today, and I said, hey, who's got a strange question, then all the funny questions started rolling in. So we're going to get this thing started right off the bat because I get a feeling that the strange questions are going to last a little bit longer today than they normally do. So we're going to start them a little bit earlier.
I thought this.
Why do they love picking on you?
I don't know.
So are you a guy that gets picked on a lot?
Yeah. Quite a bit.
It's because we love them.
Quite a bit. And
So-
he's the culprit.
I think the reason I want to do this is because I think these questions are going to give a little context to that
Okay.
to that idea. So, all right. So these are the
No way. You got a printout?
strange questions presented by Papa's Pilar Rum, who remind
We're
you
going
never to be
through-
a spectator, which I doubt you are.
Okay.
You're not a spectator, right?
Of
Of anything. You take action. You're a man of action, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
Just Walked right into that one, didn't I?
Men of action.
You spectated my question.
Very
All right,
nice.
so the first question actually comes from Mike Myatt from Papa's Pilar. And it's a softball for you. This is an easy one. Okay, so he says, extra crispy or original, shaken or stirred.
What's he talking about? Chip soy cookies?
I really don't know what he's talking
I
about.
have
to
no
be
idea what
honest
he's
with you.
I
talking
think that
about.
was
No,
KFC.
actually, let me preface this.
KFC.
Let me
Yeah.
preface
Original?
it.
Chicken.
Crispy?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Well, say what's
Original
my
or
options?
Extra crispy or original?
Original.
All right, original. All
Original
right.
for sure.
And when it comes to your drinks, shaken or stirred?
Stirred.
All right, good.
Is it a martini?
Excellent. See, it's a softball. See, that's
Yeah,
an easy
it's
one.
an easy one. It's a gimme.
Right. So it's,
You know,
yeah,
an easy bite.
Throw up an easy one.
Shaken, not
Yeah.
stirred. Yeah.
All right. All right. Cool.
You're like James Bond.
All right, and they're probably going to get a little bit more as we go on. I'm just forewarning you. All right. So, all right. Todd Harper asks, and I got to preface these by saying, I'm just asking their questions for
I got
them,
you.
right?
I got
so
you.
I'm not insinuating
No, I'm not
anything
gonna be
myself,
mad.
or
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not.
It's
I'm
not your fault.
No, I may not even understand the damn question. I'm just asking it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. All right, so, okay.
It's a
Todd
judge-free
Harper asks,
zone.
Nobody knows for sure.
He's
What's-
saying don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, you might think that I have the answer, and I don't. But what's the worst joke about your first name?
Well, that's the problem. Is my real first name is Sherwood, and everybody just knows it as Chip. So, like
Sherwood?
Sherwood. My real name is Sherwood Henry Sheehan III. I can't believe I just did this on air, but I
Wow.
just did it.
We all
that
know
was-
you're Sherwood.
Where? Are we on?
Oh, we're on now. Oh, yeah.
It sounds regal.
Wow, Todd, good job.
Anyways,
you got it out of him right off the
No,
bat.
but back to the Chip thing. It's always about cookies and this, that, and the other. But Chip off the old block, and I don't know.
Would you like to go fishing? Sure would.
Yeah, that's my dad's
Right?
voicemail. What, you call my dad's phone? Yeah, the voicemail is, leave me a message. Sure would like to hear from you.
Wow. That's good. Here you go.
His
What was
dad
the
used
middle
to have
name
a
again?
great car commercial.
Henry.
Henry. There you
Yeah.
go. Henry's solid. All right, cool.
That was great.
So, all right, so see, we're getting warmed up a little bit,
Okay.
right? All right, so
We're good.
So then Jim Ruback asks, and he was bummed out because he didn't know you were coming on. He wanted to bring like a rack of ribs and
Oh,
everything
Oh,
like that.
wow.
Which is,
That was
Wow.
phenomenal
That
yeah.
last night.
So so
Oh,
I
Jim
do,
from last
Jim,
night.
yeah.
Oh,
so
my
I
gosh.
do gotta say, shout out to my buddy Jim Ruback,
He's a good
who
guy.
is our resident chef here at the studio. And I'm not kidding, he is officially our resident chef, Ruback's Barbecue, and he's got a new line of things in business coming out called
Very,
the Pig
very
Reaper,
good.
right?
He can cook,
He's
man.
the
That
Pig
guy
Reaper.
is awesome.
So, a home of the Pig Reaper. So he says, how many quarter sticks did it take yesterday before you didn't flinch anymore?
I was probably. They blew up 2 watermelons right out of the gate, disintegrated them. I guess they put a quarter stick or whatever they were putting in the
Yeah.
watermelons.
It's
It
big
was probably
stuff.
about 4.
Yeah.
It was about 4 or 5 in.
Yeah. All right.
And then
all
you're,
right,
you're cool.
And then
So-
2 duds hit, and I think Jordan's boyfriend got hit in the back, and
Oh, really?
Yeah,
my
it was-
son got hit.
It was wild.
Yeah,
Shrapnel.
shrapnel.
Shrapnel, heavy
today is the day after the 4th, so just so people know, we're probably going to be talking
Yeah.
about some fireworks stuff and everything like that. Now, since you're coming on the show, right? I just want to go through your social, go through your site, making sure that I'm not leaving anything out that they might be current events. But I did notice that you did an episode of one of George Godd's old shows.
Yes.
right? You guys caught a swordfish. You guys went swordfishing
Yeah, on his
with
bait
my
boat.
buddy George Godd's. I was on his show Unfathomed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we first started out in the first season. So if anyone has a chance to check that show out, please do. It's a phenomenal show.
Very cool.
So I asked George, I said, hey, George, you know Chip? He goes, yes. Answered me immediately.
Oh, boy.
Right? And I said, all right, well, I need a strange question for him because he's coming on the show. And George has been on the show, so he knows the operation, right?
Yeah.
So he says, it's not really a question, but he says this. I only spent 1 day sword fishing with him, but we sure partied like hell that night at Two Georges. I was feeling pretty good, and we were dancing on the dance floor with the bill of the swordfish held up to my head like a unicorn.
That's true. I forgot
It
about
was a
that.
fun
true
night for
story.
sure. I hope that helps. So it's not really a question.
It's not really a
but
question, but it's true.
worthy
I
of
forgot.
mentioning.
He went and got like the
I
whole
was
head of
there.
the sword.
You were there?
I was there.
Yeah,
It's
he was
confirmed.
dancing around on the dance floor. with the
Which I think is
girlfriend
utterly
material.
hilarious because if anyone knows George, to get him to take his guard down like that,
Oh, I don't know.
he let his
I
guard
think he
down.
drank
Yeah.
fruity drinks. So it was pina coladas, if I remember correctly.
It
Put
could-
him over
very-
the edge with a
very-
floater,
very well
and
could
he
have been.
floated on over to the boat and grabbed the swordfish bill, and he was dancing all over the place.
You guys
with a bill
put that
attached
sword.
to him.
I was running your boat that day.
Yeah.
And you guys put this.
So the bill you
He
caught
want-
that day.
Yeah, he wanted to catch one in a flats boat. He had tried, I guess, 3 times and wasn't successful. And then Nick was out there, had a charter to go sword fishing on my boat, and he had we had nowhere to put it. So Nick pulled up next to us on my Invincible at the time that I was running, or I had, and we slid it over to Nick, and Nick took it home.
Nice.
But it was cool.
Nice. Yeah. We're going to be
Team
seeing George
effort.
up at ICAST there at the end of the month. So, all right. Next question. We got a lot of them. So, we haven't gotten to the good part yet, though.
Okay.
Well, they're all. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're all good, but we haven't gotten to the meat of this yet. So, John Jackson. You know John Jackson?
Sounds familiar, but no.
Okay. See, he says, and again, I don't know about these questions. So he's just, is the mate that cored the yellowfin tunas before weigh-in from the Bahamas tournament still alive?
Yes.
He is.
He is.
Okay.
Yes.
Great question.
Was he,
He
elaborate
is. Should
on
we
it.
bring his? I can't bring his name.
No.
You don't have to name names.
I
that's
can't
cool.
name him, but
Yeah.
no, we were.
We're not about the gotcha
I mean,
thing
who
on this
goes?
show.
Who cores a fish
I
before?
only
we're
try to
allowed
gotcha
weigh 'em?
you. That's it.
Isn't that how it happened? Do you remember correctly?
So what? So he
He
cored
cored
the
our
fish
fish
before weigh-in?
I think
Before-
that won us some money.
Yeah.
Probably. You might
We
have had
couldn't
us.
weigh our tunas because he cored them. He was one of
No
those
head, no
guys
guts.
that just was getting into commercial sword fishing, and I don't know, maybe, one of those guys that just
Good guys, though.
not a bad guy at all, nice guy,
No,
but
love
just likes to go the extra mile, and sometimes it gets you in a pickle because they want to help too much, and next thing you know, you can't weigh a tuna in a tournament because he already cored it. He's like, hey, I mean, he did it in a good way. He's like, hey, all our fish are cored. They're packed on ice. I'm like, they're cored. I go, what are we gonna weigh tomorrow? It's a 2-day tournament. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Very Rip-esque. Very Ripper-esque. We have a mate that fishes all the tournaments with us, and I named him Sizzle. Everybody knows him in the fishing community as Sizzle. And Jack, my full-time mate now, we named him the Ripper. And he's the only way to describe him is he's Jeff Spicoli. He is,
Oh, really?
He is Jeff Spicoli.
That's one of the greatest characters of all time.
So,
Yes.
so that's like a Ripper move. Like, oh man, I cored him, dude.
Die.
All right.
Classic.
Let's
Good
see.
questions. I like it.
These are
Keep 'em
good
going.
questions, right? They're all. So this is why I want to start out with this because these are all solid questions.
I love
here.
this.
Another thing
It's all
too.
day.
Another thing too. It's like this is like our favorite segment of the show. Are these strange questions, and we're always asking them too.
You're
late
making me
'cause we always
start to sweat these questions.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Sweat.
All right.
All right. The next one comes from Ryan Davis.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, we're on.
That's my boss. Here we go.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna get deep for this one. What is the average time before a release after eating the Peking duck?
Did you see that Peking duck on Atlantic there on the way here?
I can't handle him.
That place is legendary.
Why would he do this on us?
Let's go there after this.
So
Find out.
It's usually. I mean,
you're gonna have to give me some context here.
okay. Here's the story. My
Angel's
dad has.
over there just with covered her face.
My dad and myself have a problem with Peking duck. We have a time release problem. If we eat the Peking duck, you gotta have to hit the restroom very soon. And
Oh, time release.
that's what he was talking about. So when we
Gotcha.
go to Miami and we fish these tournaments, we go to this place called Tony Chang's, and they serve a great Peking duck. The restroom's right there. It's not a big deal. We've only had one issue that we're not going to get into. And
You can get into it though. That's okay.
no.
What do you mean?
Nick, come on.
We've discussed
What are you
it.
talking
like
about?
that.
Anyways, no, it's normally about an 8-minute time release. The last time it
An
was
8-minute time release.
The last time was 21 minutes. Chris Idar timed me, and everything was fine. And but I'm sure Ryan's gonna be mad that I didn't get more into detail because it's kind of a private thing. I mean, like when I was younger, we were at that Bridge restaurant in Boca,
You want to tell us about the Peking duck? Sure would.
at Sherwood Lake. And he walks out of the bathroom. He ordered duck as an appetizer, just to give you an example, because I'm not going to give you my examples. I'll give you his. And he looked at my mom and he goes, "Marcia, it's all over with." I go, "Dad, we haven't even got our dinners yet." He goes, "Pull the car up, we're gone." And he had a bubbler and he didn't make it to the. He didn't make
It was peeking out
Yes. Yes.
like a
Peking out.
So that we'll leave it at that. But no, 8 minutes is usually the low number. 23 is the high number.
A bubbler, huh?
You were really
Wow.
into that question.
I'm
That's
sweating.
good. I'm proud of you.
Okay.
We
You're
getting you?
slightly red.
Are we getting you here, Jeff?
Yeah, you're
He's
getting
turning
me.
slightly red.
Wow.
Oh
A little
God.
bit.
It's
Little
good.
bit. What's the next one?
Too bad we don't have any ribs.
Okay, can we go
Yeah.
back to normal talk, like fishing
No,
talk?
no. You got a whole list.
Thought we were
buddy.
talking about
This is
fishing. Now we're
fishing
talking
talk.
about personal
What's
things.
pre-tournament?
This is fishing talk.
Okay.
Peking duck. It's
Okay.
part of fishing.
By the way, Chris Sidar did comment on Ryan Davis's question that says you definitely have
Oh,
to
did
ask
he?
him about the Peking duck.
I would imagine. He's obsessed with that stuff.
So,
Anyways.
all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. The next 6 questions come from Chris Lemieux.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, Chris
That's how
and
we're
I
gonna
kind of helped coordinate a little bit on the way here.
He's gonna assist me. See, you
I
thought
don't know them all.
you thought you were inviting him on the show and squeezing him
yeah,
in, but
I got
this
put
is
together
really-
like a
this is
bologna
really-
sandwich by this one right
This
here.
is really
Yeah.
Mhm.
this is how it's gonna go.
Okay.
All right. So, Chris Lemieux, he was on our last episode.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was just here. He's
Okay.
a friend of the studio. He's
Awesome.
He's connected by water. So, all right.
We missed it. We didn't get to ask him the questions.
Yeah. I
Right.
missed. Okay.
Do you have to translate these from French Canadian or
Yeah.
are they in English?
Yes, these are all French Canadian pre-translated, right? So, I got them bullet pointed instead of bullet points. They're little hockey pucks. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Have you ever peed yourself while fighting a swordfish?
Yes.
You have.
Yeah, I have. Wow. How did he remember that one? Oh my
That was my
gosh.
first question.
Yep. We wwere fishing Islamorada swordfish tournament. I think was it Islamorada or Miami? It was one of them ones that Rick Peoples did, and we were running from like Chica Lodge or Holiday Isle to fish off Fowey, and it's an IGFA tournament, and you know, back then at IGFA tournament you couldn't use any harpoons, even if we did have harpoons back then, but. We were using them then, but it was all flying gaff or straight gaff, and
You have to fight the fish standing. not out
you
of
got to fight the
rifle.
fish stand up in a harness. And my cousin JT missed
Fishing
the gaff.
questions, right?
Missed the gaff shot of the fish. We hooked him right. I'll never forget it. He ate the fish. It was like a 208-pound fish. Ended up being the biggest fish of the tournament, and it ate right before the sun went down on a Spanish mackerel and started jumping as the sun hadn't even. It was still light out, and right as it got dark, we had a shot at getting him real quick, and somebody got scared and didn't gaff the fish as it swam by the side of the boat. Drew Kettlehut was with us, and that was it. It was another. Now we went into a rainstorm. It took like 3 more hours, and I had to go. And I was in Grundon's, and I peed myself while fighting the swordfish, and it all washed out with the rain and everything. But yeah, and we caught him, and we got the biggest fish of the tournament. It all worked out.
I don't think that's as an unrealistic scenario as
No.
people would think on the surface. I mean,
No.
good. You got the fish?
Yep.
That's all that matters.
Yep.
All right. Good job. All right. And again, I'm going to preface this by saying I have no idea what these questions mean.
Oh man.
Okay. So, I mean, they may seem
That was just his
ambiguous and
first one.
arbitrary to me.
How red am I? I feel like a tomato. I'm
You're
No,
actually
you're
cooling
good.
off now.
You want me to turn the AC up a
Yeah,
little?
we
and
might
make it a little
have to.
cooler in here?
We'll fix it
Yeah.
in post.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure. Have you ever experienced a mysterious power outage in Miami the morning of a sailfish tournament?
Oh my gosh, this kid is a genius. What he comes up with.
I don't know this one.
I don't know this one either.
Tell me.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm assuming all these are going to be a yes, but
Yeah. We Lemieux fished with me for years, and we traveled everywhere and fished sailfish tournaments, meat fish tournaments, and he actually ended up trying to steal my team, but that's a whole different story.
Oh.
We're still good friends till today, and
I can call him
because
right now
the
if
other
you
day,
want.
the reason why I said that the other day, he accused me of stealing one of his spots.
Oh, he did?
Oh yeah.
He doesn't like that.
Oh, it ticked me off. So I'm like, I'm stealing your spot. You tried to steal my fishing team, and you're talking about me trying to steal one spot. I've known the spot. I go, it's on Seymour Mapping. Anyways, back to the lightage. He got me good. They'd always tease me. I bet you the next question is going to be about a sandwich, if I had to guess. And
Number 3.
I swear I had no idea. I told straight up guessed.
Give me-
because they all pick on me, like he said earlier. Everybody picks on me. So he unplugged all the lights, and I was always up earlier than everybody. Like, let's go, we gotta go. Guys, get up. Why we, and get everybody moving and motivated. And I'm like, I can't turn a light on. I'm like, we lost power. I go, oh my God, what time is it? I go, are we gonna be late? Like we were fishing the Miami Billfish tournament or something. And he had unplugged everything in the entire, and then I never even figured. I'm shaking Chris. I'm like, dude, we're gonna be. They're laughing at me. It was just, they unplugged all the lights and everything, and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. But anyways, they watched. They made a joke out of it. That's the story.
Has Chris Lemieux ever made you a special sandwich while fishing? And if so, please explain what he's talking about.
Yeah, he did. He made some. It was horrifying. I don't even remember what the hell was on it. He had hot sauce, and they had everybody's sandwiches, and then of course they had one special for Chip.
Probably had poutine.
Oh, it had. I remember it was hot, spicy, and mustard, and
definitely had some
fries.
mayonnaise.
definitely had mayonnaise. It had
Like
like,
lots of mayonnaise.
I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but it was disgusting.
They
And
slip
I
a
took one
Peking
bite.
duck in there?
Egg.
No,
That would be
no.
classic.
Yeah.
But it had some nasty stuff on it. That's for sure. I remember it. But yeah, that's what he's talking about.
All right. Has Tim Maddock ever performed late night hook removal from your ear?
Yes, yeah, that happened. We were goggle eye fishing one night, and Lemieux was with me, and
Was it a sabiki hook?
it was a sabiki, but it was one of the bigger ones, not a little one, but it was in my ear, good. And Chris, Mr. Firefighter, he's wanting to get it out, and he kept trying, and I'm like, no, I'm like, I'm fighting him over it, and finally Tim was fishing a couple miles below us. He came over he had like 33 conch then and tied up next to us, and he got it out. And it didn't hurt. Chris was trying to do something, but he's gotten a lot better at removing hooks. Bill, what's his name, from Chiching, had a big hook, and we took him to Chris's house not too long ago, and he had to, actually it was a little while ago, and he had to cut it and numb it and get it out. Now that he's a firefighter, he's gotten better at it.
Was it as bad as my hook?
What hook was that?
The one in my face. Remember that with the?
You got a hook in your face?
I got a hook in my face, and with this guy, we're in his front yard, and he panics.
Not even on a boat?
Yeah, actually, I think he calls Chris Lemieux, and Chris didn't answer or something, and he ended up taking me to the vet on the other side of the street.
Oh yeah, I took you to the vet. That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
This guy took me to the vet.
Yeah. Matter of fact, he caught a 642-pound swordfish yesterday. The vet.
Good on him.
Yeah.
And he took the hook out.
The vet did, I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah, a little shot of lidocaine and let it rip.
Timmy ripped it right out of my ear, though. Like, he's like, let me see it. Wow. And he was gone in 2 seconds.
You gotta-
that,
you gotta go
I can
quick.
see Timmy doing it
That's-
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was question 4 of 6. So,
We're over the hump.
yeah, we're over the hump. What's the strangest swordfish you ever caught at night? This might be a hard one to answer.
No.
No.
I know
We got that
exactly where
one
he's
clear.
going. I know exactly where he's going.
So you pretty much know the list then.
We spent a lot of time together, me and Lemieux. It's a good story, and all. I mean, it's a really neat story. I mean, we were fishing, and it was the first time that you were allowed to do a daytime drop in a nighttime swordfish tournament, and they gave you like an hour to do it. And Bouncer caught 550 or 540 pounder, and I want to say was it Mike Walsh? He was somebody from the IGFA was with them, and there were no Calcuttas.
Really?
Swear to God. And I had no idea of this till later on, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So we're fishing the tournament, and I look at the back rod tip. I go, Chris, is there something on the back rod tip? And it was loaded up, like heavy. And then we're nighttime fishing. It was only, 200 feet down, 300 feet down, depending upon where we were fishing it. So we start winding it up. I go, just wind up on that back rod tip and let's look at it. And he winds it up, and there's, as the Mulder LP lights we used to use, and I guess we still do if you're nighttime sword fishing, with that long line clip on it, there's a piece of braid hung on the light.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost let it go. I grabbed the braid, and I almost dropped it. And I'm like, let's start pulling on that, Chris. And he starts pulling on it. And he's like, it kind of feels heavy. I go, hey, tie that off to that, because we had dropped, we had a different rod with braid on it for the drop that you were allowed to do for 45 minutes or an hour, however much time we had. Connect it to it, start cranking on it, and sure enough, here comes this ball of braid with 140, 150 pound swordfish entwined in a ball of braid that is attached to nothing.
The swordfish is in the braid?
In the braid, attached to nothing. Right?
Come on.
That's wild.
Swear to God. Right? Like there's no bait, there's no hook, he wasn't hooked. He was he was embedded of a ball. And
How
still,
big was this fish?
140 pounds, but he's still kicking. He's still
Wow.
barely moving, right?
What?
So we gaff him. This gets good. We gaff him. It was the second biggest fish caught. He's not in the money. The fish ends up being like a $15,000 fish. Drew Kettle, I think it was Drew Kettle that was running the tournament. So now I got to go to KMC Marine at Lighthouse Point the next morning and take a polygraph. And I'm like, did I cheat? There's no IGFA rules.
It had nothing to do with you.
I caught a line.
That line had nothing to do with you.
I caught a line attached to a fish that, till this day, I don't. Probably the only thing that I ever questioned myself on. So I asked
You
Drew.
caught the fish, though.
We caught a line attached to a fish.
You're good.
I mean,
You're good.
It's,
And there's zero
it's
IGFA
part of the
rules
fish,
apply.
right? At that point, right? Isn't it part of the fish if it's free swimming?
I would imagine.
Yeah,
It's got to be.
If
In
a
IGFA
fish
rules,
just
that doesn't apply.
If a
That's
tuna
no good.
swam by and you snagged a piece of mono hanging out of his mouth, would you count the tuna?
yeah,
I would. Yeah, you caught.
yeah.
So, anyways, so I passed the polygraph with flying colors. I then asked Drew Kettle. I told Drew Kettle about it, and he's like, "You're fine. There's no. It wasn't a.
Still
wasn't
caught the
IGF."
fish.
No. But
Okay.
that is the weirdest swordfish that we ever caught.
That is weird. All right, the last question from Chris Lemieux, and actually the last of all of our.
Oh,
questions,
thank
Pilar.
God!
So
It's
you're going to
the
be
final.
you are going to be off the hook here pretty soon.
I can relax and let Nick talk a little.
Yeah, then Nick, it's going to be all you. I got a list of questions for you too.
Oh no!
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding. I'm just
Oh
kidding.
no! I have a list of questions
No, you
for
don't.
you.
We're on a
All
time,
right, he
time
can come up with
restraint here.
questions. All right. So, last one. Have you ever missed a channel and put your boat on the Islamorada sandbar?
Oh God! The one time
I saved that one
around.
for last. Sorry.
Thanks, Chris.
The one
What
time.
an ass.
It's a great story.
You don't have to answer that one. It's just, I think
pretty-
asking that question.
I believe
already
he
asked
has.
me. Yes.
Yeah?
I believe that. Yes, right would be the answer.
Okay,
to
so
that.
here's the deal. It was the second night of the Islamorada Swordfish Tournament.
Was it the same when you? peed
It
your
could have
pants?
been when I peed my pants. It absolutely could have
It's a
happened.
hell of a weekend.
Nobody
huh?
knows for sure. It's a long time ago. We're talking like, God, what was it, 07,
You're in trouble.
06, 07?
So when we want a new drink, do we just got to say, are we on?
Yeah.
Are we on?
Yeah.
And get us on.
So Dean Panos beat
Thank
me in,
you.
and Dean Panos kept beating me in, and I was like, man, how's he doing it? And I was young. I'm like, oh, he's running the channel because I was slowing down, and we were running. So he'd beat me in, or he was
Where
running.
it's like Snake Creek?
No, it was right. It was at Holiday
Harbor.
Isle
Yeah.
Oh,
at
okay.
Whale Harbor. You
Yeah,
know, it used to be
Whale,
now it's
yeah,
Wahoo's
right.
or whatever. So there was one like was a first or second marker, and I remember
Like the main
going on
sandbar.
the outside of it just a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I'm close enough, and she just starts skating, and I'm like, oh God. So now the story gets really good, and so now we're stuck.
What
I
time
had
is
to-
it?
Oh, I was like, what time was? I don't know. It was right before. It was probably like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
I had to swim. They let me swim my release cards out. Me and Mark Wadlinger swam my release cards out to Miss Britt.
Sandbar at 3 in the morning?
Ray Rocher takes us in on the Miss Britt. We end up getting second place in the tournament. It wasn't the same one. It was a different year. And so we proceed just to hang out on the sandbar. I got people bully netting lobsters with dip nets, and they're running around the boat with lights, and I mean, hanging out, drinking and everything, having a good time, and I fall asleep. Well, I wake up.
Fall asleep / pass out.
Oh,
Oh,
The
you're
long
the best.
night.
Thank you so
Understandable.
it's a long night,
Thanks,
fishing
Ange.
all night long. So I wake up and there's nobody on the boat but me, and I hear this charter
on.
boat going by behind me.
much.
Going,
You're anchored, I hope.
The
Or
guy-
you're just like on the sandbar.
I'm on the sandbar,
He's
but it's
stuck.
now it's low tide, and we ran on the sandbar at high tide, and The charter boat goes by. He goes, "Is he just waiting for the party? Because there's a party there. It's where like the big sandbar.
Yeah, it's the main event. Yeah.
And I could hear the charter boat captain go, "Oh, that son of a bitch done ran aground. He's screwed." I'm like, "Oh." Chips Ahoy on the side of the boat.
Oh yeah.
So I got the boat off by myself with nobody in it at dead low. I was furious. And I pull into Holiday Isle, and Chris Lemieux come walking down. He's like, "Wow, who pulled you off?" I'm like, "I got myself off." And I go, "Thanks a lot for leaving me." I woke up with 80s on top of me, and it was a disaster. But they're like, "Oh, we're all at breakfast." I'm like, "Thanks for leaving me."
See,
You got off at low
I don't
tide.
think that
though?
was.
I did
think
get
that's
off
a
at low
disaster
tide.
at all. I think that was a beautiful thing.
It was right there. I mean, the deep water was right there. I just needed to goose her one time, and she just jumped right over there. And we
Get
got
some weight off. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, we're done with the questions. Thank God.
That was
Those were the
phenomenal.
pop of the
Did I do
Pilars.
okay?
That was
You
strange.
did. I think this is probably one of the best friend of questions we've ever done.
That
You
was
do
very
okay.
good.
And I'm very happy we decided to do those right off the bat. So because I
Yeah.
think that got us warmed
Set
up pretty
the tone.
good. Yeah.
All right.
So we have to pick a winner.
That's obviously Lemieux.
It's obviously
I mean, the
Lemieux,
guy
but-
just drugged me through
but-
Heck again.
But we're gonna take the shirt that he would have won and donate it to someone else on the list. So we'll choose that
Yeah.
later. So or we'll
You know, Ryan had
Will do.
Ryan's was good.
No, the duck thing.
Yeah, I think that's the one you turned the reddest on.
I
Yeah.
did. Well, yeah. Talking about the real situation.
You got
Sure.
questions for
Situation. Yeah.
You got questions for Nick?
No, we got a time restraint, man. Let's get to it.
No. Give me a minute. Let me think
All right,
about
I'll
it.
give
We
you
can-
a
maybe
minute.
we'll do mine at the end or something.
Yeah,
All right. So you guys been fishing for a long time too,
long
right?
time.
A long time.
Very long
And
time.
You guys are still fishing together to this day.
Still to this day. Yep. We've done a lot of.
How that got started?
I
Do you
think
Did
remember?
that get started? Keith.
Keith. Yeah, Keith McDonald.
Oh, Keith McDonald, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of things get started with Keith McDonald.
But
think
I
it
knew
was.
it-
No,
I
it
knew
was
him,
before
though.
Keith. It was before Keith. You went to the Keys with me. I had him in his
No,
first.
that was still.
No, it wasn't. That
Keith
was your
wasn't
first
there,
school
but-
Dolphin you were ever in. I'll never forget it till the day I die. You panicked. Alex Adler called
the
me
first
over.
school dolphin I've ever been in.
It was one of the first ones. Either that or you had a heart attack because you were flipping out. Oh my God, there's dolphin everywhere. I'll never forget it. Alex Adler called us over. Remember
I
that?
remember that. It was a big cargo net.
Keep
Yep.
one in the water.
Yeah. I told Nick, make sure you keep
Oh,
one in the
shut
water.
up.
Or is this down the Keys?
Yeah, it was in the Keys.
Yeah.
You were young. That was, how old are you now? You just had a
No,
birthday.
I remember that. That trip was probably 2009. We met through Keith, 1000%.
Okay, so how old did you just turn? 32?
32.
32?
And I met you when I was 17. 17.
That sounds about right. You had a Ford pickup. I remember that.
So it very well could have been your Spur School Dolphin.
That wasn't far off. It was the top 5 schools of Dolphin for sure for him.
We used to catch them on fly. They were gobbling them up like gumdrops.
I know.
I love doing that. I used to do that a lot of times when I was a kid. Bust out the fly rod in the Mahi school.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We did crush the dolphin though. It was actually, I think it was like a Father's Day weekend or something.
Yeah.
That Keith trip you speak of. But
Right.
yeah, we've been buddies and fishing
You ever
together
charter
for-
with him? You ever work with him when you
Oh,
charter?
yeah.
Yeah.
He worked for me for a long time, and then he ran my boat for a long time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tell me more about the boat.
Which
You
one?
got the walk around Billy Knowles, right?
Yeah, the
Billy.
Knowles.
Yeah, yeah.
The Billy.
Ange knows about the
Take
Billy.
me through that.
You know the Billy. I fished for Joe for Contender for 9 or 10 years, and then I ended up leaving and going to Invincible because Bill Cordis went to Invincible, and Joe had some partners back then. It was probably a mistake. I should have never left Joe. He's always been. I love his boats, and I went to Invincible for 3 or 4 years, and I wanted to go back to Joe, which I should have, like I said, I should have never left to begin with. So I called Joe. I said, Joe, I apologized and everything. I said, I left because of da-da-da-da. And he's like, no worries, Chip, I'll build you a boat. He goes, the problem is it's going to take 7 months or 6 months. And he goes, and that's as fast as I can get it done. Well, in the meantime, I had seen this Knowles online, and I called the broker, Scott Levin, And
Scott Levin sold
Scott
that boat?
Levin,
Oh,
he
nice.
sold me that boat. And he goes,
Not
Chip,
every
it's-
day you get a Marlin
he goes,
legend
Chip
selling
it.
you a boat.
I know. He's a legend.
Yeah.
And Scott's like, Chip, it's under contract. I don't think there's nothing we can do, but it's a really cool boat. It's Billy's boat. It's the last one that he built. It's his only 34 that he ever built. It's one of only a couple single screws that he ever built. And I said, I want to buy the boat. He goes, Chip, I think it's sold. It's under contract. So he calls me back maybe a day or two later, and he goes, hey, man, I thought about it. It was a day or a couple days later. He goes, hey, this guy's really being a jerk. He's nitpicking Billy about like little light fixtures and doing the next oil change and this and that for like $1,500. He goes, and he's going to go out of contract.
How old was the boat when was it brand new?
No. The Knowles is an 05. He finished it, I think, in 07 or 08. So like the guy came to him and wanted him to build a 34, and he said he never built one. And so he started it, and the guy got cancer and backed out. So Billy kind of left that boat to the side. He closed his doors in 08, and then that was the last boat that he had finished. So
The one you have?
The one that I have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So anyway, so the guy with Scott that was had it under contract, he ended up expiring his contract. Still thought that he was buying the boat because it was a soft market in 07 and 08, and that's when like everything was pretty bad. And Scott kind of knew the guy went out of contract and said, Chip, just make a deposit and put a deposit. You got to come up with your deposit tomorrow. I gave him the deposit, and the guy ended up suing Scott because he had a captain come down and do a sea trial. Scott ended up getting screwed on the commission and everything, but I ended up with the boat somehow. But it all worked out. But it's an unbelievable
cool boat.
boat.
It is a very
No,
good
I
boat.
love those walkarounds.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's an unbelievable boat. I'll never get rid of that boat. So that's how it all came about.
Yeah, that's nice. And you're running the full-time charter out of Boynton there.
Out of Boynton,
right?
at Two Georges. I have a 27 conch also that we fish tournaments with and catch bait with and run some charters on also that I like a lot. It's a 05 Eddie and Duff with twin 200s. It's a nice boat.
How's your shark scenario been doing lately?
It's funny you brought that up. That's what we did yesterday. We caught a bunch of sharks. It was it's gotten no better. It's fully out of control. So yesterday, and I know everybody says that, but till you can really see like what we saw yesterday, my son asked me, he goes, Dad, can you take me fishing on the 4th? I go, I'm gonna have a charter. I said, but I'll tell you what, be at the dock at 12. And he had always talked about wanting to go shark fishing and stuff. So I called my buddy Chris, and I said, hey, grab your kids and meet me at the dock. And Ann showed up, and my mate's girlfriend came. So we just went shark fishing. We kept the carcasses. The morning trip was good. We had, caught 4 or 5 kings and a few dolphin and a bunch of bonitas. So we kept a bunch of carcasses and bonitas. And I stopped the boat in 115 feet of water, and maybe a little bit south of Boynton Inlet, and there was immediately eight or 9 sharks. Right? I mean. And it was doubles and triples, and I mean they were eating everything you put in the water. But no, I mean as far as our shark problem, but it was fun, and it's something that I'm definitely going to promote more on charters. Us as fishermen look at it as, oh, it's just another shark. Well, the sharks have gotten so bad now, you might as well do something with them. I don't want
Right.
to be marked a shark by no means, but
Can't
goodness
beat 'em, join
gracious,
'em.
one guy from Kentucky.
as well go fish for 'em.
You might as well catch a couple of them.
Yeah, put your
Yeah.
people on them.
I'm
most
not
people
going.
get a-
I'm not going to run it another charter, at least without 180 down below in my boat.
Yeah,
you
most
know?
people get a major kick out of
Yeah.
it.
That's the thing. It's like we're
It's an
all not going to
underutilized-
look at it the same way as
I know.
someone from out of state's going to look at it.
Exactly.
We get so mad about them eating our fish, which
Especially for someone from
unless
the middle
somebody
of the country.
unless somebody
Same
does
thing with the
something,
barracuda.
you know,
Yeah,
I don't-
right.
You know, unless somebody does something seriously about it, I don't see anything getting any better.
It's really a tough haul right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking a lot. We got this group going with me and Pat Price and
Art was involved with it too.
Rufus
right?
Bacon and Art
Yeah.
and Ray's on there and Randy and a whole bunch of guys. But it's so tough because the laws are so up against us right now.
Yeah.
Very, very up
And you
against
can't
us.
Fly-
just murder
flies getting involved.
sharks.
Nobody
Fly-
wants to listen to us
Yeah.
at all, right? And even Art now he was on the council and everything like that, and he was making too much sense, so they had to tell him, well, no, we're not going to listen to you anymore, and the whole thing is just really very tree hugger on
Yeah.
the council of it, and it's just, they don't really want to listen to any fisherman about it, especially when it comes to a science perspective. They're like, "Oh yeah, what do you mean? I'm not catching any sharks." It's like, yeah, well, you're way out
Yeah.
too deep. You know, you're not even in where we're all catching them.
Yeah.
That's why, because you're not even in the right area. Yeah.
But here's my question, and we were talking about it yesterday. Why do they not get around divers? They don't go around divers. They're diving right next to us where we see 7, 8, 10, 12.
They're scared of it.
Yeah, it
Because
must be
I think
the
because
bubbles.
they're
bubbles,
smart.
the
They're
bubbles,
smart.
and they're smart. They're
not
not
getting
dumb.
fed
I
by
couldn't
them.
get some to eat yesterday. You know?
I think they know the difference between a fishing boat and a diving boat.
Correct.
Yep, I agree with you.
I think in general,
150%.
you go out there, and like you said, you went out yesterday, you stopped the boat, and you don't, a lot of days, you don't have to put a bait in the water. You don't have to chum. You don't have to do anything. You stop the boat and give it 5 minutes, sometimes less, and you look down and there's 4 or 5 sharks,
Yeah.
20 to
Yep. You're
40
bringing
feet
food to them.
underneath your boat. And
Yeah.
you don't have to, just your boat existing there.
The
You're
worst
definitely,
is
in
yellowfin
Juneau,
tuna.
it's like that.
And then you think about, oh, see, I won't even do that anymore. We did that for so long and had so much fun going to the
You're
Bahamas. I
catching
won't
like
even.
2 out of 18
Oh.
now for
I won't even
yellowfins.
waste my fuel unless I'm on a
I
charter
haven't
to
been
go over
tuna
there.
fishing in
Yeah.
4 years.
We did it every weekend. That's we
Every
lived for
weekend.
it, and it's like that's ruined. That
Yeah.
party's
Yeah,
over.
the sharks destroyed the fishery.
Yeah.
At least the fun of it for what we experienced when it wasn't that much of an issue.
It's
No fun
bad.
anymore
I
to
mean,
do it.
if you don't have a professional angler on the rod, and you don't have a person that understands pressure and understands how to manipulate a fish to the boat, and
With
that's
any
what
kind of fishing
that's
out
what it's
here now.
become now in tournament fishing is who has the best anglers that can manipulate the fish and pull the right way and do the right things to get them past sharks. You don't stand a chance. I mean, a guy on a charter, a guy's charter my boat tomorrow that isn't a good angler, just a regular guy, and he hooks it doesn't matter what it is, from a 30-pound blackfin to a 60-pound wahoo, he has probably less than a 20% chance of catching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just
Yeah.
does. It's
Yeah.
sad. I mean,
Yeah, it's affecting a lot of the tournaments and.
if you're trolling, it
yeah.
helps. If he's
Right.
trolling, it's a different ball game. It's a different if you're trolling and stuff. Or if you're offshore, deeper water, of course. But
In the end,
if you're at 100 to 200 feet and you're not a phenomenal angler, and you're still getting lucky, even if I'm on the rod or Nick's one of the best anglers I've ever seen fish, it's still
Oh, Nick, you like that?
he's a very good angler. But
it's very nice.
Props you up right there.
I
That's
mean,
good.
One of the best.
He's
captains
still he
fishing
ain't
too.
100% it's going to happen. It's still 70%.
Oh, yeah.
60-70% if they're around.
Yeah.
And also, what's it do to fish stock?
Yeah.
You go bottom fishing one day and you get 20 muttons eaten by sharks instead of catching your 5 and
Yeah.
going home.
Right.
It's
It matters.
it's going to take a toll down the road.
I've
on
always
a
said
lot
it's
of
funny.
things.
It's a funny comment. I've always said it's going to take a senator or governor or somebody's family member, and I hope it never happens, to get eaten by a shark for them to do anything. I walked up to Big John, the guy you almost pulled off the sandbar one day. He's the captain of that
Yeah.
72-foot sea mist, that head boat out of our marina there by Two Georges. I walked up to Big John the other day, and I'm like, "How are the sharks?" He's like, "Can't catch a mutton. You can't catch anything. Can't get anything past them." Looks right at him and goes, "It's going to take a governor's daughter to get eaten before anybody does a damn thing about these sharks." And I've always said that line, and John he had no idea, and he just said it right to me. The same thing.
Yeah, no, it's true. There was a group text that went out the other day about a shark attack. It was a pretty bad bite in the leg. And then someone commented, "Is that a government official?" No, too bad.
There you go.
Because it's true. That's
Yeah.
the only way it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you see the one video of the people parasailing?
Yeah, I just saw that this morning.
Isn't it insane?
Is that true?
Somebody
That
told
happened?
us that
True.
yesterday.
The shark just to make 'em.
Jumped out.
Yeah,
and, like,
jumped right out and bit the dude's leg off.
It makes sense though, dude, because they
They're
dip them.
sitting there
they
and they're
dip
just their
'em.
feet, they're
I
playing in
went
the water with
parasailing
their
with the
feet,
guy
and all of a
next to
sudden
me.
this mako comes up.
You
And
went
it-
parasailing?
Yeah, I went parasailing.
Never.
It was
You went
unbelievable.
parasailing?
Petrified.
Yeah, I went parasailing.
How was it?
It was
Hear
really
this.
cool.
Where
Where'd
was
you
this?
go?
Key West?
No, I went to the guy right next to me. We did
Oh.
like a swap charter thing. I had all my nieces and nephews in town, so
Recent.
I took them parasailing, and I got to take him on a charter. And he did the same
What'd
thing.
you wear that day?
Oh, nobody knows for sure. But he would dip me in the water like you touch your feet, so you're a lure now.
Oh, you're like
There you go.
one of those Squid Nation
Oh, you're-
flippy floppies.
Yes.
So the
So you
dude,
do a little,
ready to
little
get
spray
piled
and
Sea witch.
Nick. So the dude's sitting there he's just playing with his feet on the top of the water, like like their hand like
Yeah.
that, like he's a little. His feet are like a goggle eye, basically, just like right on the surface.
Yeah, kite bait.
It's freaking
Oh
Mako.
no.
Are they sure it was a Mako?
Where was this?
It looked
Looked blue.
Mako-ish.
Looked blue to me.
Oh, it was
the video is
Jordan,
low
the Red Sea.
quality.
It was in the Red Sea in
The
Jordan.
Red Sea.
The
Oh,
Red
yeah.
Sea.
Was that where that was?
Yes.
I did hear
I
somewhere
might
like.
question the Mako thing then.
I don't know.
I'm sure there Makos are everywhere.
I know, but
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Red
sure.
Sea?
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, the guy was from Jordan
no-
that was reporting it, right?
I
Am
saw
I
the
right?
same thing.
There's no
yeah.
fences out there.
And I remember it because I was surprised by it.
Yeah.
no, I heard from multiple sources real, like genuine.
Cool.
Yeah, because it seems like if they would have faked it, it would have looked
Poor
better,
guy.
You know.
Cool.
Hey, our friend's daughter got
Yeah.
attacked yesterday at the gingerbread grounds.
What?
Or the day before.
And they're
you
like
said
super duper awesome divers. Johnny Hubart, he lives here in Lighthouse Point. Everybody
Attacked,
knows
like,
him.
the
Fishes
hope's
with
not bad.
OCD and Tim Maddox for years. And no, I don't know. I didn't know it. He just told me when we were at lunch today. He's the one that told me about it. But guess I had to run to Ed Colson's house and get her all wrapped up and stuff. And then it couldn't have been that bad if they ran the boat home. But
It's
they
pretty-
said
pretty-
she's gonna have to have
it's
surgeries.
pretty bad.
I'm surprised. Maybe it was quicker for them to run home than it was
Oh yeah, I'm
to
sure.
fly home.
Probably.
But no, thank God she's gonna be okay.
Man, yeah, that's.
He's got twin girls, and they love diving. They love free diving, and
I don't know. The next picture after the shark was
that's
a
scary.
giant hogfish.
really?
Oh yeah.
So
I think
was
she got it.
She just
She
got
got
it, kind of
fish.
got like sideswiped, or like.
he heard the story.
I
didn't know
I
this
can't
till lunchtime.
speculate. I saw
All
some
right,
pictures.
Yeah,
It
we're
was
not asking for. Yeah, we're not asking. Yeah.
pretty.
All we
That's
know
all right.
is she got bit for sure.
Wow. Yeah. Have you thought of any questions for?
Oh, for Nick.
Yeah.
Nick,
Alright.
what's the we'll talk about timing, and timing is so crucial when you're fishing tournaments on making it back on
He's got a good
time,
one.
and
can tell.
you have to strategize. Okay, if I catch this fish right now and I have to be here and I can run this fast in this sea, how much time is that going to leave me for check-in?
Uh-oh.
Can you tell us about anything like that? And I mean, it actually relates to us because we got very fortunate. We did well at catching the pick 3 this year. He had a situation in a pick 3 running John Duvall's boat, and they had it won. What was it, about 5 years prior, and they showed up a couple minutes late for $100,000.
Come on.
Tubbs called it, said, Nick, we're going to catch a cobia on the way home off a leatherback. They see a cobia. They hook a double header cobia off a leatherback. Nick's the captain at
Nick
this
doesn't
point.
look happy right now about this story.
It's devastating. It'll always
Tell
be
us.
too
He
soon.
doesn't look very
Tell
happy.
us the
What
story.
a great day of fishing though, and it was a great story.
Hey, you live and learn, man. He'll never let that
It
happen
was a great
again.
story.
I promise you that. He'll never let that happen again.
He's not going to have $100,000 either.
I know.
That sucks.
That's the bad part.
And
And the sign, Jamie Bunn holding the sign, you're late.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, when you come in after at 4:31 there, and there's a
We
sign
were
that
talking
says
about it
you're
lunch.
late.
rules
we
are
were,
rules,
we were
man.
talking about
That's
it lunch.
it.
He's like, he goes, well, what are you going to talk about? I go, I think he's going to talk about his tournament fishing and that pick 3 thing we won. He's like, well, I can talk about how I showed up 3 minutes late and lost the pick 3.
Man.
Oh,
What's the chances running home to catch a leatherback on? I mean, find a
Yeah.
leatherback with a cobia
But
on
we
it
were
you needed.
we fished that day for
Well, if you wouldn't
the
have stopped
pick.
and gotten the cobia, you wouldn't have gotten the.
No, but he already had one cobia in the boat, and he had
You
somebody
would've
else.
It was the
qualified
cobia that
regardless?
made the cobia that we lost or that we fought for a little too long was the fish that would have made the difference.
But
we needed that fish.
So you
You
needed
coulda-
the
you
fish.
coulda- you
We
coulda-
needed that
No,
one.
well then
You
you
could-
can't blame it
because I
that
think
bad.
all-
but
off
if
the
you
wall
fight
ended
something,
up
Without
winning.
that
if you
fish, you
fight
don't win it
something
anyway.
for 20 minutes versus 5 minutes,
Exactly.
what's the
It would've-
difference? You know,
All right.
at
It's a big fish. It
in
was a
5 minutes,
35,
either we're going to
40
break them
pound
off
cobia.
or we're going to put breaking point pressure on them.
Right.
And we're going to catch them or not because it doesn't even matter at this point because we're not
Right.
going to be able to win anything. So you could have taken the opportunity to do that. You know what I mean? Like, all right, lock it down. That's it. See what happens. Just,
Right.
Yeah, it
no-
could have been
Put
done.
the heat
different.
on him.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, put the heat on them, and that's the
Yeah.
end of it. And you catch them, you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. And you know what I mean? Now everything went for nothing. But
I didn't quite make the same speed I thought I was going to make on the way back as well.
well, there you go. There
But
you
you
go.
got those are things you got to account for. Like you said, you live and you learn.
You live and you learn.
Live and you
man.
learn.
I've had bad stuff like that happen, and it's not. It's
like what else?
No, I don't want to.
No, tell me. It's why we're here, brother.
I don't know.
No, because listen.
No,
You guys
I'm
are
not-
seasoned anglers, right? You guys are seasoned anglers.
Hey,
right?
you spend enough time
Part
out
of being
there.
a season. That's what I mean.
It's
part
gonna
of being
happen.
a
It's going to
seasoned
happen to
angler
everybody. I was trying to
is
make them feel
those-
good. I actually haven't
Dude.
shown up late yet. I was trying to make them feel good.
Your losses are your greatest teachers, right?
Exactly. Amen to that.
We talked. I had George Poveromo and Harry Vernon in here
Oh, did you?
a few weeks ago. They're actually going to be coming in 2 more weeks to do a part 2 of that one. That was a really good one. But we asked the question, and I asked this to Chris too, right? And I'm going to ask you guys this too. I'm actually going to start asking people this because I think it's a really, really good question. And it speaks to the point of the seasoned anglers, and that you become a seasoned angler because of your mistakes and learning from those mistakes, right? That's the greatest teacher, right? So everyone's got their one that got away. Everyone has it. What's your one that got away? Nick, you want to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
If
Nick.
you know it, then tell me, because I know what mine is. But
The one that got away, I would have
what's
to.
that one fish that you're like, man, I wish I had that fucking thing back.
I might be wrong on it, but I would have to say for me the one that got away would be a big sword. We lost a giant sword. You can't. Hard to put a number on it. It could have been 500. It could have been 1,000. Who knows? But it was a giant fish.
You knew it was big.
It was in the early days of daytiming, kind of when
Right.
we all first started doing it, and I think we actually had the fish on. I think it was like one of those Daiwa electric reels or something. We had this one.
I know the story. It was with Tubbs, and he darted him.
A fish came up, and I
saw the fish.
slung the dart
There
at
was
him.
a dart in him.
We harpooned it. We had one dart and 500 foot of rope or something. And I hit him, and the thing comes jumping out of the water, throws the hook, and the harpoon's right through the side of the fish. The fish was massive. And he dumped all the dart rope, and
He attached it back to a reel.
we tied it back to the reel, 'cause, and we, again, like you said, you learn from all these mistakes. But we ended up tying it to the reel, and we fought the fish on the harpoon for 5-6 hours, and we burned up the reel. And we're trying to hand crank this thing up sideways in the current, and I think it just a few feet from the wind on to where we could start hand lining and getting back on the harpoon rope. The braid parted, and everything was gone.
That sucks.
See you later. Good night.
That sucks.
Yeah.
5-6 hours?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was a
That-
long.
that's
Yeah, I
hard.
think it was 11, 12 o'clock at night when
Yeah.
all this happened.
So it had to be a massive fish,
It was
right?
big. It was a
Yeah.
giant
Yeah.
fish.
That's a heartbreaker.
By far the
man.
biggest one I've seen still to this
Yeah.
day.
Heartbreaker.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Chip. Lay it on us, brother.
I don't know. I mean,
You don't
the
lose
one-
many.
The one that got away, it's hard. I mean, there's so many. I mean,
it could have happened when you were a kid.
Oh,
I know.
You're
Well,
on.
you probably caught so many fish now you've made up for it by now. But what was it at the time?
Oh man.
I got to tell you, you don't really. I feel like I have a heartbreaker every time, but you don't seem to have those heartbreakers.
I pray a
usually,
lot. That's
Usually
why.
works out
Do you
good
pray a
for
lot?
you.
Yeah? You're a faithful man?
Faithful man. I know
That
one.
makes two
I
of
know
us.
one that got away. That isn't one that got away, but one that it's a got away scenario is losing $365,000 3 years ago, and we had the bites to win it. That was terrifying. That was horrifying. When Miss Annie ended up winning it the next series, Jamie Bunn, they had that Bill
Release
Fish round,
roundup.
release roundup,
Yeah. Oof.
and all I knew is that we qualified for day 2. I didn't want to look at the numbers because they give you the numbers. They like you got to catch 2 in these 4 hours and 6 in these 4 hours and 3 in these, and then they take the numbers out of the bucket and there's only so many in that left. So I didn't want to even look at it. Like I never even paid attention to it. And it was probably a stupid part on my part. I was trying to do a different strategy. There was so much money on the line.
Yeah.
I'm like, if it happens, it happens. So on day
You didn't
2,
want to focus on it.
yeah, I wanted to
Right.
focus on winning the tournament.
Right.
And when it was all said and done, I knew day 2 there was only like 6 or 8 boats. I think Art was in it, and Double Diamond, and there was a few other boats. There was 4 or 5 boats in it that were left. When it was all said and done, I don't even remember what the number was. Say it was 3 on the last 4 hours, or 4, I think it was, on the last 4 hours. And I think we were like 2 for 5. Tubbs had one, missed one, eight swimming in the weeds. Eddie jumped one off. Matt Fengler burned one off. And
So it's more than one that got away.
I'm running in. It was like, and I come in and Jamie Bunn's blowing my phone up. I'm like, "What's up, Bun?" And he's like, "Tell me you didn't miss any or two fish on the last 4 hours." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because you would have won a lot of money." I'm like, "Oh my God, don't even."
Wow, and you got Eddie.
I remember waking up that
Eddie
next
Fengler
morning,
and
pacing
Tubbs.
around my pool, wanting to jump in and not come back up to the bottom.
That's the one that got away.
It was so ziz.
Yeah.
But
That'll
another
work.
big sword too. I had my long guy actually on the boat, and back when I was in the car business and I was part-time in the car business, just starting to fish for a living full-time, and I brought my long guy and some car guys from my dad's dealership, and we hooked a giant sword, and and it was so earlier on, it was like in 2000 or 99, we didn't have harpoons, we just had flying gaffs, we weren't using harpoons, we weren't smart enough to use them back then or whatever, and I grazed his back with a flying gaff, and we caught one the Thursday before. It was about 4:20. Me and R.J. Vogel, and I had Doug Root, my long guy, and he came. And the big ones will show themselves. They'll always give you, not always, but a big sword usually will give you an opportunity. Not always, but will give you an opportunity to dart them earlier on, and he gave me an opportunity, and I was reaching out, laying on my stomach on my bow of my dusky, and I just almost could get it below him, the flyer, and the gaff touched his back, and he made a run, and we fought him for like 5 more hours, and Doug packed the spool up on one side. We broke him off on the spool. Oh, God. But, yeah, that was another bad one that got away.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, the one that got away. That's always a good one.
One that got away.
That
Well,
was a good story.
that's the greatest teacher. The funny thing is like I never even thought to ask that kind of thing. We were like, what? This is episode 88.
It's a great
Right?
question.
And I never
for
thought
anybody.
to ask any of that
Yeah.
like that. And I asked that to George, the one that got away, because he got me thinking about I had a big ass mahi. It was the biggest mahi I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think
I
we've
mean-
all lost a big.
I mean, I'm talking.
it's
I mean,
another one.
It looked like sailfish length on the side of the boat, like it was one of those long ones. It was big ass head to it, and it was just right at
Yeah.
the boat. You know what I mean? To the point where it's like tried to crank up the engines, didn't get there in time to even just gaff them, free gaff them. It was tough. It was tough. But anyway, another question that I'm going to start asking everybody is: the name of this show is Connected by Water, right? And the name of our business is Connected by Water, and we really feel strongly about that name because we really feel that we're all connected by water, right? And it's that one common bond that no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, we're all connected by water. That's what we always say. There is this kind of invisible energy that happens on the water between people to when you pass another boat, you wave to them.
Mhm.
You don't do that on the road.
You're right.
What is it? What is that?
You're right.
You know
That's
what
a
I
good
mean?
point. Never even thought about that.
Why? Is it a vortex situation? There's just something about the water.
You feel better on the water. You know
And
what
there's
I mean?
just something about just being anglers too. You could talk to an angler from Alaska.
Yep.
You could talk to some Japanese dude that's
Yeah.
flinging tunas over his head, and you get it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And to us, really, connected by water is that one thing that kind of breaks down all the walls and everything like that. But I've always want to get people's opinion too when you hear the word or the term connected by water. What does that mean to you? I know it's a kind of a stumpy question because you got to think about it a little bit. You know what I mean?
I didn't know it was going into a question.
But yeah, well, yeah, I tend to come
Be a
up
good
with
one
things
for
on
you
the fly
first,
now.
Bri.
So like if you were to say, yeah, we're connected by water, you know what I mean? It's like how does that make you feel?
I
I'm gonna
mean,
put
I'll
you in a
go-
one-sided
I'll-
couch.
I'll-
Obviously,
roll into
something
it.
clicked already
great.
for you. Go with it.
Yeah, it's connected by water. It's what we do. It's our common bond. It's what we, people like him and I, and it's what we live for. That's what we eat, breathe, talk about, think about. 24/7.
Hmm.
And it's that out there, that ocean,
Right.
and the fishing and the, everything that goes into it, and
There's a culture
the
behind it,
boating,
too,
the
yeah.
fishing, the prep work, the camaraderie. It's all that. It's all
Mhm.
because of that ocean and the water, and that's what's created such, great friendships and great bonds between people like Kim and I, and all of our giant group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's-
well said. I mean, that's well
It just
said.
bound. I mean, we're all
It's well
connected.
said.
We're all friends. We're all buddies.
I would say
just through this
connected
whole-
by water is a little. It's to me. If you look at it and a whole scheme of things, people. It takes. It kind of takes one person at a time, right? So, I surfed for a long time, and I gave up surfing for fishing, and I hear it all the time. Oh, I gave up golfing for Jamie Cannon from Interstate Batteries. Oh, I gave up golf for fishing. And then you get obsessed with fishing, and then you get, dependent upon how far you want to take it, but pretty much if you get to the point where you buy a boat, you're addicted. Either you're online or you're fishing or you're worried about what everybody's catching.
Yeah,
and
you're on.
You're on, and no, but from there, then it's like a network that you just build, because all you want to do is talk to somebody that's involved, that's connected by water, or somehow you get connected to the next guy that has something to do with the ocean and the fishing, and whether it's from and then you like I got fortunate enough to travel, and it's all the same whether you're fishing in Nantucket or you're fishing down in the World Sailfish Championship in Key West, and it's almost like a cult.
But like you said, you talk to somebody from here, or somebody from there, Alaska, Japan, wherever, and I just went to Costa Rica and met some new people from over there, and it was just like we knew each other for forever, like we were best buds,
right?
And we just met, the day before.
And we always say
it's wild.
We haven't said this in a while on the show. We used to say this a lot, that there's something to be said for when you go fishing with someone, that you kind of create this tribal bond.
Yeah.
Right? That where you could see that dude that you only fished with for one day. Like the thing with you and George Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I only fished with the dude one time. I fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
I'm always going to but you guys connect, right?
Yep.
And we tried to define it for the longest, tried to figure out what that was, that one thing, because you could fish with someone one time, see them 4 years later, and be like, hey, what's up? Remember when we caught that? Whatever.
Yep.
Right?
100%.
What is that? And we kind of came to the conclusion that there's like a tribal aspect to it, like from when we were like way back when, like hunting, and that's what makes us men and humans, and even women, right?
Yeah.
Men, when I say men, like humankind, like, and there is, I think, some aspect to that. Because the core aspect of this show is mostly Pompano and like South Florida, Broward, Palm Beach, Miami, right? But we want to bring in people from all over the world, but we do focus on our local community, because we always have this theory of you got to grow where you're planted, right? And then just like don't go moving somewhere else just because you think that's going to make the difference in your life. Make the difference in your life where you are, and that's what's going to make your community better. Right? So that's why we planted the studio out in Pompano. We wanted to just flourish from here. This is where we're from. Yeah. And we wanted to bring in all our people that are from here, because to me, like, people want to look at like places like Hollywood. No, those are the famous people. I'm like, why? Yeah. You know what I mean? These are the people that are famous to me. Yeah. This is the people that I want to talk to. These people that are meaningful in my life. Yeah. Right? So grow where you're planted.
Yeah. There's not a better area or a better group of fishermen, in my opinion, to to talk to and do things like this with. I mean,
right. Yeah, no, because you live, breathe, and eat it, right?
Yeah, it's such a part of the culture around here, and there's so many great ones.
Right, because if you're not bait fishing, you're offshore, you're chartering, or you're getting ready for a tournament, or it's always something.
Always,
right?
Always.
We're podcasting.
Yep, 100%.
Something, talking about it, because we can't stop not talk about it all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
I know.
I mean, we sit there and drink beers at night and just talking,
always
telling
talking about
stories,
fishing.
And sometimes it's just it's endless. It just keeps going and going and going.
Like if you go, like we were going to Matt White's party last night. If you went to a party and like there was no fishermen there, you'd be like, "What are we even doing?"
Yeah, what do you do?
Like, what are we gonna talk about here? This is a total shit show.
You'd be like, "Ange, can you make me another drink?"
Be like, "Ange, we're off."
Ange,
we're off. No, it's true though.
Yeah, I know.
It's true.
I know.
But I mean, hey, listen. We try to to me, that's the ever-growing search of this show and that term, right? Is just like I'm still searching for the perfect answer for Connected by Water. Like I don't have it yet. You know what I mean? I think that we do. We try to define it. We try to put it in our
I don't think there
story
is
on our
an exact
website.
answer.
I don't think
But I think that's the beauty in it,
You're
right?
never gonna
Maybe?
find the exact answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you ask the people every time, "What's your take?" Well, what is it to you?
Yeah.
It's a personal.
That's it.
There's ain't a one-word answer. It can't be.
That's even like when we started the show, right?
That's a cool question, though.
My wife was like, "Oh, what are you gonna name the show?" I'm like, "Oh, I was gonna name it like the live well or something like that.
Oh
right?
shit!
Which would have been right. And I was like, I don't know, right? But there's already another one live well. Thank God that put that like off. I'm like, what? You know what though?
The bait box.
It's too like fishing. You know, I didn't want it to be. It's not really a fishing show. You know what I mean? It's like everyone I bring on is fishermen, basically, for the most part. There's other people that come on. It opens the door for other things too, but I want to get like beneath the surface of the people behind it all. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my rant about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Very cool though.
You got a question for Nick? Another? Oh, you already have one.
I mean, I hit him pretty hard with that
You hit him
one,
pretty
but
hard? So,
That's
all right.
pretty deep.
I think that's about it, Nick. I mean, I don't
Got
know.
out of this one pretty
Yeah,
easy.
you got out.
Yeah.
I'm not.
All right.
I'm not.
Because
I'm
I'm
not
thinking
a
of
good
a couple you
answer.
could probably
Any
ask
good
me.
questions I have for Cecil? Huh?
I'm petrified.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
coming.
I can't
Because I'm
wait.
not good right out of the gate.
You can't call him and be like, dude, can we take two?
Yeah.
This is it.
Well, I think for something's telling me deep in my heart this isn't going to be the last that we're going to see both of you guys on the
I
show.
hope not.
So,
We had a good time,
Yeah,
actually.
you're going to come in again.
Absolutely.
Right,
If we're invited, we'll come back.
Absolutely,
You might have to
100%.
review this and make sure, though.
Absolutely. Well, one thing we like doing. All right. So what we like doing a lot of times we
This
like.
isn't live right now, right?
Oh, everyone heard everything already. No, I'm just kidding. It's
Oh.
pre-recorded. It's pre-recorded. It's pre-recorded. No, it's not live.
All right.
We can go live.
No. Don't hit
bless
the
you.
live button. Is that the red button, the live button right there?
Here, yeah.
That's
Don't
just
hit
the
the damn red
That's
button.
the record button.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would never push the red
I
button.
was don't
It's like
ever
you learn
push-
that at
don't ever
like
push the red
birth.
button. So all right, cool.
Don't push the red button.
So all right, let's finish drinking these at the bar, all right? And then so I thank you, gentlemen,
No problem.
for
I had a-
coming in
I had a
today.
blast talking
All right,
with
did
you
you guys
guys.
have a good
Cheers.
time?
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So all right.
And the pop is blonde. I love it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had the
Gotta try
blonde
one of
today.
those.
I had the brunette.
You had the
Okay.
blonde and the brunette.
Yeah. I have already got a blonde over
You
there.
already got a blonde. That's it. That's it.
Screw
It's
that.
all
I got
good.
a brunette.
And I want to thank you for doing a wonderful job as bartender today.
Thank you,
So-
Ange.
and I do
Thanks,
mean
Ange.
that, right?
Keeping them on.
We're on.
We're on.
Oh, you are on.
We're on.
Keeping
on?
them on.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm off. This is way off.
All right.
If you guys are up in the Boynton Beach area and you're looking to charter a boat, right? Call Chip.
We'd love to take you fishing.
Chip's Ahoy. He's got a beautiful boat that does have a bathroom.
Yep.
Is it
Don't
bathroom
worry
on
about
board?
that. Right? There's a bathroom
us
on
out.
board. I know
Yep.
it's important for a lot of the women.
If you eat
Especially.
Peking duck, you better have a restroom real close to you.
Sure
Good
would
point.
be better.
Sure would be better if you had a bathroom.
Sure would like to catch them.
Oh,
All right.
Goodness gracious.
Cool. All right. If you're in the market for a new truck or vehicle, all right? No offense to our fellow friends over at Sheehan, but Joey Cardella is a headline sponsor of the show.
Full send. I'm not in the car business anymore. Go, Joey, go.
Call our buddy Dean at Joey Cardi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself hooked up. I have a Dodge Ram Rebel, and I absolutely love it. It is a beautiful, beautiful truck. And my business partner just got a brand new TRX, which that thing is absolutely freaking insane.
Beast.
It's awesome.
702 horsepower worth of.
Ryan Davis from Real Synergies just, I don't even know what truck it is. It's the nicest
It's a
Ram
Dodge.
that, no, it's a Ram.
It's a, well,
Yeah.
Dodge Ram.
Dodge Ram.
Okay, but it's the gooch scooch of all, there's only like two of them. I don't know. They're
Thing
only
is
made
bad.
three or
The
four of them.
TRX.
It's got to be
TRX,
TRX.
maybe?
Yeah,
That thing is
they only
bad.
made 3,000 of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It must be it.
ridiculous.
But then there's like
Yes.
700 of those
I said, what
3,000
are you
that have
buying
like
a
launch
Ram
mode.
for? And then he gets
Wow.
the thing and I about shit tulips. I'm like, this thing is amazing.
Yeah.
I really
It
like
is.
it.
It's
Well, what
something
they've
else.
been doing with the Ram
They've
trucks
come a
has
long
been off the,
ways.
yeah, they've come a long way. They've been off the charts.
Yeah,
you know,
for
so,
sure.
Yeah, so call my buddy Dean if you're in the market. I'm not going to say for sure, but I think if you went into there and you said, hey, Connected by Water sent me, you might get a better deal than most people will, so hit them up. Also, if you're thirsty and you're hanging out and you're having a good time and you're not at work or you're not driving around town, wrestle up with yourself with a bottle of Pop's Pilar rum.
Oh,
We
yeah.
enjoyed it this afternoon, and you will too. And he's already getting filled up again. We're closing out the show, and he's filling it up. There we go.
He's
That's
on.
the way to
I'll
do
be
it.
I'll be on.
All right. Yeah, so they remind you never to be a spectator. We're happy to be part of their family, and they also are keeping the Hemingway tradition alive. All right, if you're hungry, go over to Papa's Raw Bar, order something off the Connected by Water sushi menu. They got a lot of fun things on there. Go over to Papa Migos over there in the Bailey Arts District. Check out the Takizi Sushi Taco, I want to give a quick shout out to our friends and family over at Maui Jim and Olokai. We're very proud to be part of those Ohanas. And I also want to say, if you are in the market for some boating apparel, head on over to shop.cvboats.com, where you can enjoy the Friel collection that we personally designed and created. So, and also, last and certainly not least, if you are heading offshore and you realize that you do not have an E-Perb on board, do yourself a big favor, turn around, go back in the inlet, call ACR, put one on your boat, and then head right back out, right? Because you never know when you're going to need that one. Accidents happen. That's why they're called accidents. Okay?
That's it.
That's right.
All right, we good?
We're good.
All right, your ego. It's not your amigo. I want to thank Chip. I want to thank Nick
Thank
for
you.
coming in
Thank
and
you,
seeing
Dennis.
us
Thanks
today,
for
right?
having us.
Right? And remember
Had a blast.
that, always do your best. And at the end, after all that, just let God do the rest.
That's it.
And remember that no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we are all connected by water.
Question.